Ghana Means Business, brought to you by Goil. Goil, good energy.
Ghana Means Business. Your story, our message.
The ARB Apex Bank Limited is a mini central bank for the rural and community banks, RCBs. The bank was registered as a public limited liability company in January of 2000. It was granted a banking license in June 2001 and was admitted to the Bankers Clearinghouse as the 19th member in August of 2001. The vision of ARB Apex Bank is to remain the most effective and efficient service provider to RCBs. Recently, the Ghana Commodity Exchange (GCX) signed a memorandum of understanding with the ARB Apex Bank to help channel loans to farmers using their commodities deposited at GCX certified warehouses as collateral.
Good morning and welcome to your apolitical, factual, unbiased, and most well-researched television program, Ghana Means Business. We all know the health impact of coronavirus. It has been indeed devastating here in Ghana and all over the world. But the real question is the informal sector. What has been the impact of the economic impact, the business impact, and their survivability? And I don't think there's any financial institution in Ghana that is better armed with the data, research, and information to answer this than the rural and community banks of Ghana. This morning, we are privileged to have two of the most illustrious gate finders, two trailblazers, two phenomenal bankers who are very much respected in the banking profession, in the names of Dr. Alexander Asmah, the Chief Executive Officer of Amenfiman Rural Bank. And ably sitting next to him is Alhaji Yakubu, the General Manager of Yapra Rural Bank. Gentlemen, you are most welcome.
Thank you, Nana.
Every now and again, Goil makes good things happen. This time, Goil has introduced Super XP Ron 95, a higher grade fuel loaded with additives and yet sold at the same price as normal fuel. Goil Super XP Ron 95 enhances engine performance like never before. It maintains the engine by keeping it clean from carbon deposits. Goil Super XP Ron 95 is designed to burn slowly and thus improves fuel economy, making you save money after several kilometers. Goil Super XP Ron 95 gives you a smooth driving experience, that is, less vibrations. Fill up with Goil Super XP Ron 95. Now there's no need to pay more for any higher grade fuel. Goil has that sorted. Goil, good energy.
Ghana Means Business. Your story, our message.
Let me start this morning with Alhaji Yakubu. Alhaji, assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam. No.
Alhaji, for those who are having the privilege of watching you for the first time, please give us a brief background about yourself, including what you consider your greatest achievement.
Thank you very much, Nana. My name is Alhaji Yakubu, the General Manager of Yapra Rural Bank. I've been the General Manager for about 40 years now.
Wow.
Yes, and I started with the bank since 1991.
Wow.
And
so you were a teenager when you started?
Of course, yes. not actually teenager.
Because you're only about 30 years now.
Yes.
So if you started 14 years ago, then you were about 16.
I was around 21 years.
Okay.
Yes, and then been with the bank throughout up to now. And when I joined the bank, it had about 3 agencies. It can now boast of about 9 agencies. Wow. We are in 2 regions, the Bunu East and then the Savannah region, and we are in about 6 districts. That is Atewa, Mantin, Sene East, Sene West, Pro East, and then Pro West. Okay. Then we are in Salaga, which is one of the districts that we are operating. So the bank now has about 50-something workforce. Wow. Yes, over, when you talk about the other mobile bankers, and then we can talk about 100 and above. And I am very proud because as at the time I took over, the bank had about 1.9 million, let me put it that way, of net assets. Now it can boast about 24 million and above. So this is a little I can say about myself.
Congratulations, yes. Congratulations, and well done.
Thank you.
Dr. Asmah, it is indeed a real pleasure meeting you. Finally, I've heard so much about you, and it's really an honor to finally meet you. Doctor, please tell us a little bit about your background and what you consider some of your greatest achievements.
Thank you very much, Nana. My name is Dr. Alexander Asmah. I'm the Chief Executive Officer of Amenfiman Rural Bank in the Western region. Though we are in the Western region, we are also operating in the Ashanti region and in the Central region also. Oh, wow. And now with the division of Western into Western North and Western region, we also have some locations in the Western North also. Currently, we are operating a branch network of 18 branches with some mobilization centers as well. I started work for Amenfiman Rural Bank as a management trainee, grew up through the ranks, becoming an operations manager. How many years ago? Oh, I have done 18 years in banking. Oh, wow. I left Amenfiman to Barclays Bank, worked there for a while, and came back to Amenfiman as the Chief Executive Officer in 2011.
So once you touch Amenfiman, you never go back?
You never go back. And I would say that my most important achievement to me is the number of people that I've been able to develop and grow. I took over the bank in 2011 with a staff strength of 68 employees, and now we have almost 400 employees. Wow. And setting up a talent development program targeting young people who have graduated from school and building their capacity to become leaders. It's my greatest achievement, and I'm very proud of that.
Well done. Doctor, COVID-19 has affected every sphere of our lives. Specifically, I know your banks definitely have had some challenges in operations. On the issue of deposit mobilization, how has that affected your branch?
Thank you very much, Nana. As we are all aware, the COVID-19 has had a global impact on businesses, and economies are crashing, and everybody is affected. And so as banks, we are equally affected when businesses are also affected. Thankfully, to us in the rural and community banks, we have managed to maintain a certain level of momentum in deposit mobilization. I can say that deposits in rural banks, across rural banks in Ghana, are quite stable. And in some cases, we are experiencing some growth, especially after the lifting of the lockdown. We are experiencing some growth. This is because most of the clientele of rural banks are in the micro and small businesses who are mostly dealing with essential commodities of life, i.e. food and water and other things. So in spite of the global challenges on businesses, these clients are still able to do some businesses and still bring their monies to the bank. One thing that we have also successfully done is that we have been so close to our clients and assuring them. Initially, some of our clients felt that banks were going to close down, they were not going to have access to money when they need it. But with education and getting close and assuring them that banks are always open and they can always have their money when they want it, there's very much stability at that front. And so with a little effort of marketing, which because of the need for social distancing, we are not deploying our marketing teams as much as we used to do, but it's quite stable now.
Well done. Alhaji. Alhaji, I know deposit mobilization has been an issue cross-border, but also on the issue of lending. Are you still so active in terms of your credit administration and lending to your customers, or have you slowed down a bit? Tell us how Yapra and other rural community banks are dealing with the after effects of the COVID-19 in deposit mobilization and lending.
Thank you very much, Nana. Like my colleague Doc was talking about, deposits has not been strongly affected. And we can also relate it to lending. We are aware of the difficulties that most of the businesses are going through due to the COVID-19. But it's like we are very much prepared as rural banks because we are situated in an area where the businesses are not facing challenges seriously due to the COVID-19.
That's good.
Like Doctor said before, we have clients who are having micro businesses. They are selling essential commodities that is needed to be able to prevent the COVID-19.
Precisely.
So they are doing very well, even though we are trying as much as possible to reduce the risks associated with lending due to what is happening within the environment. So we are lending and we are doing well in that respect. But so we are open to people, customers, the general public to try to do business with us. And then we assure them that funds are available to everybody who comes on board to do business with the RCBs. So Nana, we are doing very well because it's placed to our advantage due to the kind of businesses that we are undertaking and the people we're dealing with, especially farmers, because the urban areas need food. So we are supposed to support these guys to be able to farm and then support the urban centers.
Excellent. So generally, tell us, Alhaji, what is the feedback you're getting from your customers as a result of the pandemic? Are they in crisis mode? Are they more relaxed based on the extraordinary services and measures that you've put in place? How are Ghanaians reacting?
No, that's another issue, because generally the feedback we get from our customers is that businesses has been slow, because most people, even though not locked up, are still trying to adopt the COVID-19 protocols so that they are not exposed to the disease. So definitely there will be slow down in business activities. But they are doing well. Of course, some are doing well, like I said before. But we are ever ready. Yes, because we have put in place measures that will be able to protect the businesses even after, beyond COVID-19. So for those who have benefited from our funds before or from our loans before, who have approached us to discuss issues of challenges towards facing their businesses, we try to look at areas where we can be flexible in terms of lending to them. We have tried to extend, in some cases, the repayment period of their loans. In some cases, we have encouraged even waivers, we've undertaken waivers, where those are critical issues that we have to look at, not open to everybody. And then we are also ready. We know lending is the lifeblood of every business, and then rural banks cannot exclude themselves from that. So these are the feedback we are getting, and we are prepared. We have prepared ourselves to be able to undertake that challenge.
Excellent.
Yes.
Dr. Asmah.
Yes, Dana.
Based on the issues you've enumerated, basically very important, deposits, lending, waivers, trying to cushion businesses. What would be your advice to small and micro businesses in the economy who rely on the RCBs for their life wire? What should they be doing now? Is this a time for savings? Is this a time for expansion? Is it a time for borrowing? What would you say to them?
Thank you very much, Nana, for the question. I think as rural bankers, we get very close to our clients, and so we are able to understand the circumstances of their businesses and their activities. So at this stage, we try to advise our customers based on whatever that they are doing and the sectors that they are operating. For those that are operating in the essential commodities that we need daily, they actually require additional funding to do a bit of expansion so that they can reach out more to people and able to provide people with what they need in their communities. But one thing that we try to guide them against is not to invest their monies into capital projects. Some of them, they have started some building projects, and they think that when they make a lot of money, they send some to their building. But this is the time to hold on to your trading capital so that you'll be able to roll over and make a lot of money out of that. So generally, we are very close. We are guiding them, and we are helping them to take the most important decisions at every moment of their businesses and their lives. And for people like farmers who actually require some investment into farming at this stage so that they will be able to provide the nation with the food that we need in the coming year, they actually require some more investment. And so we are there to support them in that regard. And we are still lending to farmers across the country so that they will be able to provide Ghana with the food that we need in the coming year.
So generally, what sectors do you cover within your catchment area? Do you deal with industry specific, or it's just general customers, or you also have segmentation across?
Yeah, thank you very much. We do have segmentation across the various sectors. So we have farmers. Normally our micro customers are basically people who are doing general trading of petty trading and some shops and other things. So they trade in all manner of things. But there are specific ones like some artisans, some are also like say carpenters. We also have some into farming and other categories. So we look at each one of the categories that we have and look at which one of them requires some intervention. If your business requires you to do more to scale up, then we support you to do so.
Based on their turnover?
Based on their turnover, based on the demands in the market, and based on our experiences across, because we do share knowledge and share information, so we know what is happening, and we are able to advise them. But if your businesses does not require you to scale up, you may stockpile things, you may produce things that will not sell, then we advise you otherwise. So we are constantly in touch with our clients, and we're able to support them.
Every now and again, Goil makes good things happen. This time, Goil has introduced Super XP Ron 95, a higher grade fuel loaded with additives and yet sold at the same price as normal fuel. Goil Super XP Ron 95 enhances engine performance like never before. It maintains the engine by keeping it clean from carbon deposits. Goil Super XP Ron 95 is designed to burn slowly and thus improves fuel economy, making you save money after several kilometers. Goil Super XP Ron 95 gives you a smooth driving experience, that is, less vibrations. Fill up with Goil Super XP Ron 95. Now there's no need to pay more for any higher grade fuel. Goil has that sorted. Goil, good energy.
Ghana means business. Your story, our message.
Alhaji, in your industry, how relevant is technology, whether it's applications or notices or online banking, looking specifically at the sector of the market where there could be a very high rate of illiteracy or people who do not necessarily are not conversant with such technology? How do you marry the two?
Technology is important in the modern day, not only banking, in every activity that moving forward. So there is the need to psych our customers to understand that that is where the trend is going. We need to serve them faster. We need to serve them better. They need to get quality service. They need to get value for whatever for their investment. And if you have to do that, there's need for you to involve yourself in technology. Fortunately, Apex is helping in that respect. Excellent. With the type of software that we are using, which is very robust.
And it's also very expensive for individual banks to embark on such a massive
for individual banks. So together, we are embarking on it together.
And so the Apex Bank has really come in to help.
Seriously.
Excellent.
Because for those of our colleagues who even try to leave the system are now back because they are trying to appreciate the fact that together we move.
You have a motto or something?
Yes.
What is
it? Together for progress.
ARB Apex Bank, together for progress.
It's together for progress.
Excellent.
So all of them are coming on board.
Excellent.
And then you look at the kind of customers or the kind of clients that we are dealing with. the issue of SMS, the issue of using ATMs, the issue of using other banking applications to get text messages. So it depends on the type of customer we are dealing with. So we make sure that we have segmented them. If you are an illiterate person, it depends on we are able to direct the kind of technology that you need for your services.
So you are able to custom?
Yes, custom, yes. You look at teacher specific or government worker specific or literates, those who have some appreciation of education, we'll look at them from that perspective. We also look at our illiterates that we call so-called illiterates, because they
may be illiterate in terms of reading a foreigner's language.
Yes.
But the intelligence and wisdom they have is phenomenal.
So we even got instances where people come to us to tell us that I deposited money and I'm not receiving SMS. So you see the appreciation. We've also deployed technology
So he is waiting to receive his text and let maybe his daughter confirm to him.
Yes, because that the phone rings, he knows that there's a message from the bank. We also deployed technology in the areas of social mobilization, because the people want to have their deposit credited to your account live. Then they want to appreciate that. So technology is important, and then people are getting used to it. If you define them as people living in the rural communities, but now they are able to appreciate technology, and then we are trying to bring all on board. And we are aware that Apex is developing other banking softwares or applications that is going to adapt to it and considering the kind of people we are dealing with. So sooner or later, they are going to experience or they are going to get used to this kind of technology that we are deploying, and then we will move forward.
Excellent. Doctor,
No.
the survival of the rural and community bank seems to be under threat. From where you sit, how do you think that we need to move the RCBs, who really are the core financiers of Ghana? And when we say Ghana, we mean real Ghanaians in the informal sector. How do we ensure the survival of the rural and community banks?
Thank you very much, Nana. I think this is a very important question. And many a times, we look at the financial sector and we look at who holds how much total assets. And we are tempted to think that the multinational banks hold large chunk of the total assets of the banking industry, so they may be the most important participants. But I can tell you that rural banks altogether serve more Ghanaians in the banking system than all the rest of the banks put together. 6.5 million Ghanaians are banking with rural banks.
Unbelievable.
With over 800 outlets across the country.
Everywhere.
There's no single bank in this country, or all of them put together, who have that number of outlets.
From Garu to Hamile.
Everywhere in Ghana, you find a rural and community bank. And that's how important we are. Of course, we have come under threat many times, and just coming from a banking crisis or last year, and with all the challenges, and also meeting COVID-19 with all its challenges, and many other threats that have come and gone, I can assure you that, Nana, rural banks remain very resilient and very robust to meet the challenges of the time.
They are the Ghanaian spirit.
Is it because they are community-owned banks?
Exactly.
These are owned by the very people whose deposits are in the bank. The shareholders of rural banks are like the customers of rural banks. So to detach them from their bank is something impossible. And that is why we need to provide rural and community banks the needed support to serve this clientele. Sometimes we look at the value, how much of total asset, how much of deposit. But if you look at the number of clients whose deposits are with the rural banks, who take their daily bread by being supported from the rural banks, who are able to provide their children with their daily meals requirement, then you know that rural banks are a very important component of our economy. And rural banks are also well positioned now than ever before, with a lot of the capacity building and a lot of policy support from the ARB Apex Bank and some guidance from the Bank of Ghana. Rural banks have better systems now than ever before. And that is why the storms will come and the storms will go, And all the rural banks put together are still resilient and are still working. So the public can continue to rely on rural banks and be confident that what we say we will do to support you, we are doing and we continue to do. And none of the rural banks are leaving the scene. We are still here and we continue to be here.
Thank you. Alhaji, last but not the least, I would like you to share with us, to all the customers of the rural banks at this point in our history and our time, what kind of confidence, what is your message to all your 6.5 million customers in Ghana? What should they take out of this very informative, educateful, and insightful interview that we have had with two of Ghana's finest and most illustrious bankers this morning? What is your message to all the customers of the rural and community banks?
Thank you very much. Like it was said by my colleague before, the rural banks we have over 800 branches throughout the country. We are their next neighbor. You open your door, the next person or the next structure you see is a rural bank. Rural banks are owned by the community. They are their own bank. Rural banks are the traditional banks. When any bank says it's a traditional bank, it may not be true. We define rural banks as the traditional bank. They are owned by the people. And then with over 800 branches, we are always with them. We are very robust, with robust technology. We are serving our customers with all what we have. We are with them, we live with them, we understand their businesses. So we come to do business with people who understand what you do, who understand your tradition, who understand your culture. And that is what rural banks are made of. And then we are asking not only the customers of rural banks, we are asking the general public to come and do business with RCBs or rural community banks, wherever you find them. They are your own banks. They are never going anywhere. And like Doc was saying before, you are the shareholders of the banks, and you are at the same time the customers of the banks. So we need everybody on board to be able to move your business forward and to be able to also move the rural banking industry forward. So with the support of Apex Bank, which is our mother institution, and then with the support of Bank of Ghana, which is also our father institution, because it is only the rural banking sector that has a father and a mother. We have Bank of Ghana, we have ARB Apex Bank. And to the extent that we even have a grandmother, which is the Association of Rural Bank. So we are strong, resilient, and robust. That's why we are where we are, and that's why we are called rural and community banks.
Folks, it's never been a dull moment. This morning, we have been fed. Personally, I am beyond words. Hearing what a traditional bank is, hearing what values are, hearing what culture and customs mean. This is Ghana. This is the informal sector. 6.5 million customers, over 800 branches across the length and breadth of Ghana. This has been Ghana Means Business with your host, Nana Fredi Ajimai Pambuo.